There are 31 students participating in the program this summer, and they're working in all kinds of different departments across the county, learning everything from office administration work to learning how to use tools. They're working in some of our labs about monitoring compliance.
Right, police, so I can help you.
The students got to see firsthand some of these opportunities, everything from wastewater to the IT world and all the things that are behind the scenes making the county run.
I did an internship at the Department of Fire, and I was writing on fire medics. I did hospital rotations at Henrico Doctors Forest in Parham, and I was working with firefighters all summer.
They would start at 7 in the morning when our shifts start. They would start checking out the trucks, making sure all the equipment was there, that the units or the rigs were cleaned and ready to go. And then the unit would mark into service, and then they were available to answer calls.
We were dispatched on 911 calls with the medic that we were riding with. We were at different stations all summer, so we got to see all the 911 calls that were dispatched in a certain area in the county.
So I actually got to talk to patients and take vitals, and I got to really connect with my patients on that trip.
282, show your respond to 1705, Delaphi.
They're learning what it's like to get their first job and learning what it's like to work, and they're also learning to see what people are doing out in the field for the jobs that they may be interested in the future.
Many of these students, when they got on the job, they were able to take the skills they had learned in the classroom, and their supervisors, the people working with them, found out that these students really were coming to the table with a lot to offer.
Really cool to just have the opportunity to come out here and do something new, you know. It opens a whole new hallway of doors.
So they're getting a lot of hands-on experience that will translate into, I think, most jobs.
So what I was doing is I was testing the depth of the blankets and the secondary clarifiers, which basically just comes to show how much sludge is actually in the water itself at the moment.
We also have students in our police department. They are learning what it's like to be a 911 dispatcher.
If I'm taking a call, it's like a high priority call, I use my foot pedal.
I'm glad we were able to bring students here to show them the skills they're learning in school, how they translate into actual workforce jobs.
We had a really great experience of knowing what this job entails and whether it'd be something they would want to do in the future.
I would definitely recommend this program or this internship. It really opened my eyes into a whole different world.
Just a really cool experience, and honestly, if I didn't do this, I probably would have been a little lost with my future. So it definitely helped, you know, just expose me to a professional work environment, because, you know, it just gets your foot in the door and lets you prepare for what's coming.
I loved it. I had the best summer.
So we're super happy that the culmination of a partnership between Career and Workforce Development, Title I, Harvie, and 4-H is coming to fruition with this wonderful event with the entire 5th grade here at Harvie Elementary School.
What's the second letter? Third letter.
D.
Got it.
So 4-H wanted to partner with us to bring STEM and career development with their partner Facebook so that children could see what are the opportunities in STEM down the road.
Good job.
Title I has been working behind the scenes with CTE to really talk about what career exploration could look like at the elementary level.
You can lock things down, see how it's all interconnected.
What does robotics look like? What does hospitality look like? What does health careers look like in terms of CTE education? And then we have 4-H really working with a group of students on some encrypting messages, which is super important when you're dealing with any kind of electronic data these days.
Really smart. Good job.
This gives the students an opportunity to see what does this look like in the real world. So this gives it to them instead of in 8th and 9th grade, middle and high, it gives them something to look forward to in elementary school. So it sets them on that path pretty early.
Did it work? I can help you.
The first thing up is our grand reveal. 3, 2, 1! This house system is a way for you all to earn points. And you're going to start working together as a team so that you can earn points for your house.
At REB, we've decided to have 5 houses, and their names are actually wins that are actual true wins throughout the world. We were very purposeful. We selected wins from different areas of the world because our students come from all places in the world.
They're all related to a particular character trait that the school is trying to emphasize so that the kids not only develop a sense of community, but personal development as well.
Let's see who the loudest house is. Are you ready?
So starting with the red house, that is called Comsine, and obviously that's my house, and Comsine stands for respectful, and it's an eagle. We also have a yellow house, which is Pampero, and that comes from Peru. Comsine comes from Africa, and we have a llama that goes with that trait of being innovative. We have the greenhouse, which is the Lodos house, and they have a wolf, and their trait is determined. In the blue house, we have Chinook. It's actually a wind up in Canada, and it stands for being grateful, and it's a blue jay. The last house is the purple house, which is called Elephanta, and you can imagine it's an elephant, and it kind of works that it stands for empathy, and so just teaching them to care about what other people are feeling. So those are our 5 houses. They actually spell RIDGE, respectful, innovative, determined, grateful, empathetic.
The enthusiasm was second to none. Too bad it can't be canned and sold because it would sell out very quickly.
How well do you know your presidents? Here's a chance to test your knowledge. Can you identify this gentleman? Meet Jimmy Carter, the 39th President of the United States. Son of a Georgia peanut farmer, Carter was the first president to be born in a hospital. A graduate of Annapolis, he earned the rank of naval lieutenant before pursuing a career in politics. As president, Carter promoted education, energy conservation, and budget reduction, but his presidency is probably best known for fuel shortages and the hostage crisis. After leaving the White House, Carter worked tirelessly as a humanitarian and earned the Nobel Peace Prize. James Earl Carter, the peanut farmer who harvested peace.
3 Power Up Patriots today that are going to help you along with your challenge. So,
we have a design class at Tuckahoe Middle School that's called Power Up Patriots, and it's a group of 7th and 8th graders that work together to develop challenges for our Maker Mornings. And our Maker Mornings is a club at Tuckahoe where any student can sign up, and they're given challenges with the Makerspace equipment.
come on in, guys. Maker Mornings over here.
Today's challenge was a microbit coding challenge where the students had to figure out how to connect their microbit to their computer and then how to code it to have 3 different sets of lights display on their microbit.
And you're gonna click a new project.
A microbit is a self-contained computer bit that is an external coding device where they use a program to code it and it displays their code.
This is very similar to Scratch. It's just a way to turn your coding into an enhanced object. And for today, our goal is to have 2 different strings of light.
When B is pressed. Now look, there's no. And then press this.
You do like this, right?
Yeah.
We could do like.
They could have different designs, different lights. They can also make it say words. Next week, we're going to go into them having it play sounds. They can create melodies. They can also attach alligator clips to external things, so a light bulb could turn on with the power of the microbit as well.
They're coming around this way, and they will then announce our winner. Go.
So I did not know how to use microbits at all, and I was given them from the county, which was great, from the Innovative Learning Department, and I gave them to the kids, and I said, all right, figure out how to do everything, and they did. So truly, they're teaching me every day and getting ownership of their own learning, which is super cool to see.
She is the winner of the 2021 REB Awards for Teaching Excellence. Can you give her a big round of applause? Oh my goodness. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. So here's your letter announcing your award. Oh wow, congratulations. Yeah. What do you think? One more round of applause for your teachers. You are the winner of the 2021 REB Awards for Teaching Excellence.
Thank you.
Your nominator said that you find a way to make struggling students enjoy math for the first time and make kids who love math want to use it to change the world.
I wanted to take that and go down to the South Pole and do some celestial navigation.
I'm so excited and pleased to announce that you are, we need a drum roll. Do we have visitors come in? Drum roll. You are the 2021 REB Award for Teaching Excellence winner.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
so excited to be here to honor you.
Nobody teaches in a vacuum, and I teach at a great school with great faculty, and I have the opportunity to teach great kids. And I'm not done yet. I got a lot of years left doing this, so I'm very excited for this to happen. Thank you so much.
Working hard.
You are working hard. Good job.
Keep working, bud. You're doing good. Keep working. Good job. All right, next one.
David, how are you doing?
Good.
All right, so our goal is to get this done before lunch. That's our goal.
It's almost getting full. It is.
David, how are you doing? You guys are working really hard. We just have to stay focused on the job.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Now for another 90-second history report.
Politicians fight. That's nothing new. You hear about it every day, but did you know that a cabinet member and a vice president once pulled guns on each other? Back in 1791, Aaron Burr took the New York Senate seat from incumbent Philip Schuyler, father-in-law of Alexander Hamilton. You know, the guy on the $10 bill. That made me mad. A few years later in 1800, the Electoral College can't decide between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr for president. Hamilton, Secretary of the Treasury, breaks a deadlock, calling Jefferson the lesser of two evils. Now I'm mad. Public name-calling continues for years, until finally, Vice President Aaron Burr challenges Alexander Hamilton to a duel. In July of 1804, the two met outside Quioccasin, New Jersey. Story has it that Hamilton fired first with a shot near Burr's head. Burr responded with a shot in Hamilton's abdomen, which eventually kills him. Burr is later charged with murder. He serves no time, but his political career is ruined. Oh, no! So here it is in a nutshell. Two colonial heroes rose to fame. When things went bad, each used the other to blame. One lost his life, the other his name. Politics truly is a dangerous game.
That's the Burr and Hamilton duel in 90 seconds.
Tonight we are here to address the push-out of African American girls in public schools. This is something that we saw that it was an issue looking at data. So we wanted to address this through a community event, want to educate the community, but we also want to empower our Black girls.
This disparity in suspensions is a national, state, and local issue that deserves our immediate attention.
We have to look at why are African American students being suspended at greater proportions than other students. Is it a lack of cultural understanding, a lack of diversity understanding, cultural competence, the whole nine, implicit bias? So we need to take a look at all of those issues that have a role in that disparity.
My teacher got super duper mad and dragged me by the chair, yelled at the other kids to move as she was dragging me to get out her way.
All of you have a crown on your head, and that comes from your history. And people will still tell you to take that crown off and assimilate to be something else to make other people comfortable. Whether it's time for them to be comfortable with you being in the room.
We really get in trouble a lot, sometimes for going up the wrong side of the stairs. If we even have a pass walking in the halls, they just be assuming that we skipping.
I feel like we need more Black staff because I'm more comfortable when I have a Black teacher and I'm more comfortable being around them and I can open up more easily to them.
I just feel like we're the same as the other culture. We're all the same, so we should all be treated equally.
What we want to see happen is that Henrico County Public Schools creates a series of events from the East End to the West End. We want to create spaces for Black girls so that they feel that they're comfortable in public schools and they're not a target. People don't understand, our girls. So I want the community to better understand our girls so that they can support them, not push them out of education, but provide resources for our girls to help them stay in school, to be educated through the schools.
Lincoln felt uneasy
He had not been able to find sufficient time to complete the speech he was expected to present at the cemetery dedication the next day. What words could adequately express the horror of the battle? What could he say to communicate his own profound sadness over the deaths of so many gallant soldiers? What comments could possibly convey the somber appreciation of a grateful nation for their sacrifice? What tender words could he offer to comfort the hearts of grieving loved ones? So many mothers, fathers, wives, daughters, and sons. The president pored over his speech as the train wound its way through the rolling Pennsylvania countryside. Finally, arriving in Gettysburg, he retired to his room where he continued to ponder, write, revise, and write some more until well into the night. After breakfast the next morning, Lincoln made his final revisions, carefully folded the speech, and gently placed it in his coat pocket. Accompanied by 9 governors, 3 cabinet officials, various members of Congress, foreign diplomats, and military officials, the president mounted a chestnut horse and joined in a procession to the cemetery. One of the residents who lined the parade route remarked that Lincoln bowed with a modest smile and uncovered head to the throng of women, men, and children that greeted him from the doors and windows of the town. At the cemetery, an audience of 9,000, though some say many more, crowded around the speaker's platform in a broad half circle. One of those assembled there later recalled that all about were traces of the fierce conflict: rifle pits, cut and scarred trees, broken fences, pieces of artillery wagons and harnesses, scraps of blue and gray clothing, and bent canteens still littered the low hilltop. The ceremony began. Chaplain Thomas Stockton offered an invocation. Edward Everett, former governor of Massachusetts and one of the nation's most famous orators, presented an eloquent address that lasted over 2 hours. Abraham Lincoln arose, shook Everett's hand, and removed the papers from his coat. He put on his wire spectacles and turned to the anxious throng before him. The audience immediately grew still. Then Lincoln spoke for just over 2 minutes, and in 10 sentences he invoked those exalted principles of freedom, of humanity, and of a unified nation to which he, like the brave soldiers he honored that day, had dedicated his life. And these are the words he spoke. These are the words that Abraham Lincoln spoke that day at Gettysburg. 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live, It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggle here have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little know nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.